Kite Life is proudly brought to you by Cabrinha. G'day and welcome to another episode of Kite Life, the Australian kiteboarding television program, coming to you from Kitelife here in St Kilda, and with me is my co-host Zig. Zig, what's going on?
How you going, Paul?
Good.
That's good. Well, we're just enjoying a lovely sunset here down in St Kilda. We haven't had much of a summer. Feels like we're getting it now in autumn, but who's complaining with weather like this?
Who is complaining? Now guys, we've got heaps for you on the show again this week. It's been a great series, so let's kick things off with a rider profile from Northern Queensland.
My name is Andy Yates. I'm 20 years old, I'm from the Sunshine Coast, and I'm the 2010 World Champion. Feeling I get when I'm kite surfing. Well, I surfed before I started kiting, so I kind of have surfing's always got a special place, and it's such a good feeling being on a wave and completely free, but kiteboarding is something completely different. It's the feeling of being weightless at times, and yeah, that feeling is hard to describe. Everyone that kites remembers their first jump. It's just one of those things that it's just a weird feeling being pulled up in the air by a kite, which is essentially powered by the wind. But yeah, surfing and kiteboarding are just combined. It's just they're dream sports. That's why I keep doing it. It's feeling so good. So yeah, I was ranked #1 on the tour for 2010 for most of the year. Second last event in New Caledonia. I was so nervous because I needed to win that event and I'd tie up the whole tour. And I don't know, things just seemed to freakishly go my way in that event. I tangled with some guy and he got disqualified when I was behind in the heat, and then the guy that was coming second, he got disqualified as well. So just, I don't know, maybe someone's looking out for me, but yeah, I don't know, things just went my way in that event, and I ended up winning it overall. So that tied up the World Tour at that event before the last event on the Gold Coast. So now that I've got my 2010 World title, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue this year. The tour's starting again in a month in Thailand, so I'm going to go for that. I'm going to compete in the whole tour this year. I'm going for multiple world titles. I don't want to stop at one. I want more.
Today on the Buyer's Guide, we're covering the Cabrinha Rival and the Cabrinha Convert Kite, both the Convert and the Convert SE. Here we've got the Cabrinha Rival board. It's available in a 133, a 135 and a 145. Board's very simple. Follows a single concave and a nice flat rocker. It's quite wide, early planing, and very easy for beginners to get up to, as well as your intermediate riders. The Cabrinha Rival board comes with the Cabrinha coax bindings. Simple strap, fully adjustable for the size. Simple, easy, get you out on the water with little hassle as possible. The Convert is the third kite on the Cabrinha's lineup. It is one of their most simple and easy to use kite. Unlike all the other kites in the Cabrinha range, the Convert is a hybrid kite. Still has very easy relaunch, quicker than all the previous years, and a much stronger build quality to it. The Convert for this year has 5 struts and very, very robust construction. Moving on from the Convert, we've got the Convert SE, which is the school edition version of the Convert, which has new Dacron strips protecting the kite, stronger canopy material, and just all-round thicker construction. Right, the Cabrinha Convert is for your general purpose rider. If you had to be stuck on an island, that's the one kite you'd use for all conditions. Very simple, huge wind range, easy relaunch, and the most durable out of the Cabrinha kiteboarding lineup.
Alrighty guys, don't go away because there's more Kite Life right after this break.
Hi guys, welcome to the Trick Tip, brought to you proudly by Go Kite St Kilda. Today I'm going to be taking you through a pop to blind, excellent for you intermediates, free riders and for landing blind and advanced unhook tricks. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to be starting off just building some power into the kite. You want to make sure that you're nicely powered, but as you can see today it's just a light wind day, so it doesn't take a lot of wind to get going. First of all, you're finding the power in the kite. You want to keep it at 45 degrees and get ready to make your chop hop, moving your hand into the middle of your bar with 2 fingers over the depower line. Another way to do it, if you're unsure about that, is just to move your hand onto the left side if you're going to the left of your bar. So you're going to be finding the power, kite at 45, you're going to go up for a chop hop and come back down. Once you know that you can do that, same thing again, go for a chop hop and then rotate your body round backwards, strengthening and lengthening your back leg, so which is now your right leg. What you want to do there is make sure that you're pushing your leg downwind, otherwise you're going to go flying over the front of your board. And keep the kite nicely powered. Make sure you make some adjustments as you're going. You'll start off, if you're new to it, just making your arm kind of look a bit like a teapot. And you want to make sure that as you practice and practice that you extend your arm, making it look like a good trick. So starting again, building the power, go downwind a little, chop hop, rotate the body round, keep the kite in the right place and lengthen your arm. To get out of the blind, what you want to do is just pull your body back round. You can either pop back out or you can try and do a back roll back out. Just bring yourself back round and ride off. Okay, so in summary, pop to blind, I'm riding towards my kite. In this case we're heading to the left. My kite's on the left at 45 degrees. Going to make sure I'm building power into the kite, so I'm good to go for a chop hop. Going to place my hand in the middle of the bar with fingers over the depower line. If you're unsure about that, move your hand onto the back side of the bar, so in this case onto the right. Build the power, put your hips forward, your shoulders back, and you're going to twist your hips forward first to get yourself up into a chop hop. Chop hop, and then you're going to rotate yourself back the other way, so you come up and at the height of it you go back round, which leaves you landing blind. My kite is still on the left, and this is why it's called riding blind. I make my arm nice and long, and I'm actually looking in the opposite direction of my kite, which is why it's such a good trick. It impresses a few. Now to get back around, what you want to do is just like pulling yourself out of toe side. Just gonna pull yourself back round. And then ride off, again in the same direction. And if you wanted to try and make the trick any better, from blind you can then try doing a back roll out. So into blind, and then throw yourself forward into a back roll or a front roller rotation, pulling yourself back out. Okay, so there you have it, a trick tip pop to blind. Day like today, light wind conditions, perfect for getting out and trying it. If you've got any problems, drop by and see us at Go Kite St Kilda and we'll give you some more in-depth instruction.
Kitesurfing is commonly broken up into a number of different styles of riding, and Wakestyle is just one of them. Wakestyle riders are constantly on the search for the flattest water possible, and using a board with bindings, they like to hit, grind and slide any obstacle they can get their hands on. Now here with me today is one of the oldest, or should I say, most well-ridden Wakestyle riders Australia has to offer. Chris Wardell, welcome to Kite Life.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So Chris, can you tell us what it is about Wakestyle riding that really inspires you?
For me, it's about being pure to the sport. It crosses over from wakeboarding, cable riding, and allows us to sort of be pure to the skill set that kiteboarding is often correlated with. So it allows us to take aspects of riding boat, riding cable, and putting it down to kite and making it look the same, feel the same, and basically is the same.
Awesome. So do you think there's quite a fair bit of uniqueness in the Wakestyle side of things?
Look, I don't think it's unique because, as I say, it crosses that many genres that it's not really unique, but it is a harder way to ride. You know, you're locked in for one. You're riding boards that generally have a little bit more weight, a little bit more rocker, but that means you've got more power, more control. You can land a lot harder, and you can really put down the tricks that realistically come from those sports.
So Chris, you've just signed with Best Kiteboarding this year. What's that mean for you?
Look, Best has always been one of those brands that has been on the forefront of design and progression in the sport. You know, if you look at the people involved, Shannon Best, you know, has been a long-time cable rider. I used to ride cable with him back on the Gold Coast. So to me, it's a natural progression to come across to Best. Sure, they've had a few years that have been in the wilderness, but now they've really put a lot of effort into their design of their kites. Their board program is outstanding. Look, they're a brand that's really moving ahead in leaps and bounds.
Okay Chris, so this time last year you were here, right here at your local beach, Town Beach, set up with the Best Friends Rail Jam. Now this is a clinic style competition designed just for Wakestyle, hitting obstacles. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. Look, the concept was to build a bunch of rails, make them very, very easy and mellow, and get people who've never really done this type of riding in the sport to come up to Mackay, check out our local beach, and then just get pretty much taught how to do it safely in the confines of a beautiful area, and knowing that they're under tuition from, you know, some of our best coaches in Australia.
Now Chris, you've been jet setting around, a bit of travelling going on. Now the highlight of your travelling has been your last trip over to the CWC in the Philippines. So give us a rundown. We've got the footage of it, so it looks pretty awesome. Let us know what to expect over there.
Yeah, the CWC complex is an amazing water sports setup. It's designed around wakeboarding, but last year they had the wind or no wind event in the back lake, the boat lake, where they put a bunch of obstacles there for kiters. And yeah, it's windy, it's gusty, and it's an inland lake, but it can be ridden with a kite. So Andy, my partner, and I decided to go over there and check it out.
Chris, this is your ride, the Profanity. Can you give us all the features and a brief rundown on it?
Sure, yeah, this is the new Wakestyle board offered by Best Kiteboarding this year. It's designed purely with the Wakestyle rider in mind. As you can see, it's got a nice progressive rocker. It's not so flat between your feet, which is a little bit different to your standard kiteboard. It's got a lot more flex pattern through the tips. Its construction underneath is a wood core with a triaxial layup. It's very, very stiff where it needs to be stiff. It's designed to be ridden with boots, but it can be ridden with foot straps. And the beauty of it, the bottom shape, you've got a single concave, got some mild channeling which gives you a little bit of grip there. You don't need to ride with fins, and they've looked after the bottom surface for those rail orientated riders. So anyone looking for a pure Wakestyle board which doesn't carry the weight of a wakeboard and gives you an upwind edge, the Profanity is the one.
So there you have it guys, Chris Wardell talking Wakestyle and the Profanity. Stay tuned for more clinics in your local area, including the Rail Jam right here in Mackay.
Alright, today's trick tip is tacking. Tacking is a pretty useful skill when you're riding any kind of directional board, and it's absolutely fundamental for racing if you're getting into that kind of riding. Alright, so first up, tacking is where you change directions heading into the wind instead of heading towards your kite downwind. We're going to break it down into two key components, the kite movement and the board movement. First up, when we see the tack with the twin tip board, we're just focusing on the kite movement, and as we come into the tack, we check our speed, carve upwind with the board with the kite at 12 o'clock, and then as we change direction with our body, diving the kite aggressively to head off in the other direction. It's kind of similar to a transition, but you don't want to actually be getting air off the water. When we add the strapless surfboard, the key thing here is to make the same kite motions through the tack, but we're going to actually carve the board up into the wind and then send it off and actually change direction of the board with our feet. Doing this, you want to take your old front foot as you come into the tack, and you want to guide the board and the nose of the board up through the wind and behind you and then your old back foot becomes the new front foot, and as your back foot comes down onto the new front foot position, you dive the kite and head off in the other direction. It takes a bit of practice, and sometimes it can be a little frustrating, but the key thing with the kite is to actually depower the kite through the tack and then power it back up as you come out of the turn. As you go into the turn, you want to keep your weight low, carve with your back foot, but guide the board through the wind with your front foot. With the race board, we're adding a little bit of difficulty here because frankly they're a little bit more difficult to ride, and you've got the straps. First up, you want to head into the tack with your back foot out of the strap, but really close to the rail and as far back and close to the strap as possible. Similar to the unstrapped surfboard, you want to keep your weight low and depower the kite as it heads up to 12 o'clock and you carve the board upwind. Here's where the front foot becomes really critical because you need to guide the nose of the board through the wind so that it can head off in the other direction. And as you do so, and your body rotates back to head off in the new direction, you want to take your old back foot and put it down up in the front foot position on the board, heading off in the other direction, and keeping power in the kite by diving it as you head off in the other direction. And that's pretty much it.
Zig, that's how you turn a race board.
Well, it's very useful information to have, and I think every kiter should be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, more after the break. Don't go away. What's up, Zig?
Ollie, how
you doing?
Great to see you.
Great to see you. What's going on?
Well, we're busily restocking and keeping the high standards of the store up to the high standards that we expect.
You've got a fair bit of stock in here. It's massive. What's going on?
Well, we've got plenty of stock, and the good news is that we're actually taking it all online.
Get out of town.
Yep. We've already launched our new store.
Yep.
So we're just now populating it. So as we populate that, you'll start to see all this stock appearing online.
So you're telling me that people can sit at home in the comfort of their own armchairs, browse online through your beautiful shop.
Exactly.
Get out of town.
Very exciting, I know. I mean, I'm feeling the excitement as well.
I'm excited.
We're all excited.
It's exciting.
Yes.
Well, tell me about some of the things that you've got, available.
Well, one of the highlights that we're going to be putting online is the new boardwalks.
The boardwalk out the front here.
No, they're actually they're a cross between a board short and a walk short.
No.
So you've got the pockets, the patterns of a walk short and the look and feel of a walk short, but you've got the performance and fabric of a board short. That's just one of the many fine products that we roll with here.
It's two birds and no stones.
That's right. You don't need stones anymore.
Who needs stones?
That's right. That's right.
My dreams are coming true. What is it? Okay. So they're boards, yeah?
Well,
boardwalks.
I mean, you could run with either of those.
Do you stock
boardwalks? We don't stock jorts. That's right.
That's where we draw the line.
Well, we just wouldn't sell any of them. I don't think. Yeah.
Right. We are in St Kilda though, so.
Well, it does take an acquired taste to roll something like that.
This is true. Yeah. This is true. What else can people buy? Is it surfboards and or your kiting gear?
A little bit of hardware, but what we're looking to do is focus our online store more into the accessories area. I mean, when you come down here to buy hardware, we provide a service around that. It's just a little bit more of a purchase, and we like to make sure that our customers are getting exactly what they're looking for. So we suggest that it's better to do that down in the store, but online, you go for it. Accessories from Havianas, Sanooks, sun cream, DVDs, wax, t-shirts, shorts, large range of women's wear, bags, beach umbrellas. It just keeps going on and on. I mean, if I listed it all, we'd be here for too long, I
think so. Well, I might have a bit of a cruise around. Can I borrow your computer to browse it?
Yeah, no worries, mate. Do it. Have a look around, and just let me know if you've got any problems.
Perfect.
Any questions?
No problems. Right. All good. Cheers, Zig. I'm
excited.
Check it out.
Go for it, man.
All right, guys. Today we're talking directional boards. First up, surfboards. Construction-wise, the Cabrinha 2011 surfboards constructed full epoxy construction with an XPS foam core and a full wood deck. You can see the wood through the whitewash finish here and gives it a nice, clean, classic look. We're also using future fin boxes on the surfboards, which are the strongest fin boxes available and also give you plenty of choice out there in the surf shops to fine-tune the performance and the feel of the board. All right, so model-wise, start with the Trigger. The Trigger is our classic thruster surfboard in the range. It's a board that you want to choose for bigger, more powerful waves, clean conditions, where speed and control and drive in those conditions are the most important considerations. In order to achieve that, we've got a little bit narrower outline. You can see a Hawaiian style nose here that's a little bit more pulled in, which is great for the kiting style where you are probably carrying a little bit more speed than you do surfing. Also, the rails are quite thin rails, giving you extra grip in the bottom turn and helping you hold that speed through up into the lip. If you're looking for a board for more real world, more onshore conditions, the Skillet is definitely the board of choice. Kiahi just won the first stop of the PKRA World Tour Wave Comp in Morocco on this board. It's right here we're looking at the 5.6. It's a little bit shorter, eggier style board, a little bit wider, and still carries plenty of speed, but it's really snappy and really loose in those onshore conditions where the waves are a bit mushy, a bit junky. We're trying to, the board's trying to give you a little bit more power, a little bit more speed in less powerful waves, and is doing that with a little bit fuller rails down the edge of the board and a little bit flatter rocker towards the tail, just giving you that little bit of kick of speed. Also, the more compact length makes the board a lot more controllable when you're doing airs, whether you're doing them strapless or if you've got foot straps on. Okay, for the pure performance enthusiasts, the race scene is really exploding overseas, and we're going to see our first course racing nationals being held in conjunction with the freestyle event up in Easter in Queensland. So Cabrinha's come to the market with two boards designed by Alex Aguera. He's a Hawaiian shaper who actually shapes the boards for 3 of the top 5 guys in the 2010 World Cup and on the tour. The board's quite unique, and as you can see, it's completely different to a surfboard. It's super wide, super parallel rails, and the rails are actually, they're quite sharp and quite full, giving you minimal drag and the most power and drive upwind. The fins on these boards are pretty long, pretty straight, and the boards do come with fins, but it's likely that if you're going to be pushing your level, you're going to probably be getting custom fins that are, more suited to your style or your size and the amount of power you can drive through your legs. But yeah, the fins are pretty full on, and riding these boards is definitely something completely different. But the angles you get upwind and downwind and the speed are just phenomenal. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you on the water.
Alright everybody, welcome here. My name is Michael and I stand here at Sandgate Beach with lots of people from Surf Connect. Today we're gonna run you through how you do a back roll. A back roll is not really difficult. It's actually a quite easy trick. I guess it's the first way into the freestyle world. So guys, are you ready to do a back roll today? Yeah. Cool man. So the first thing we need to do is we need to practice it on land. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go this side. So stand in your riding position like this. Yep. Oh, it's sick, got a little good wind, you're riding out there. Cool man, everything's good. Then we're going to start doing the back loop. So what we do is we bring the kite up almost 12 o'clock. We pull in the bar a little bit and then we start spinning around. Just when we're spinning around, remember where your eyes gonna look, your body actually gonna go that way. So keep looking over your shoulder and enjoy it. Whoa, it's so Ross, I'm spinning around, do it. I'm spinning around. When I'm here, I need to start thinking it's time for my landing. I need to look down, make my landing. Where do I gonna land? As soon as I land, bend a little bit in my knees to take off the impact. And then just enjoy it. Oh, I just did my first back roll. Alrighty, so you like that? I'm gonna try it on the water. Let's go on the water, man, and crank it. Go! So what we saw here was a really good example of a back roll. Pay attention to the kite, he leaned back first of all. The wind is pretty lightweight today, so he make a super duper big pop like this, spin around his whole body really fast. As soon as he gets to this position, he spot his landing. He came in, he go for the landing, bending his knees and again, and he have a nice and soft landing. So if you need any help, come on down to the Surf Connect, the kite surfing school. I'm an instructor here in the school, and we will all be more than happy to get you into the fantastic world of kite surfing.
Alrighty Zig, beer's just been delivered from next door.
They taste lovely and it's extremely convenient, located right on the beach in Melbourne where everyone kites. It's pretty good life. The sun's setting, beautiful.
That's beautiful. Guys, that's it for us for another episode of Kite Life and another series. Thank you for tuning in. If you're keen on kiting, then go and get some lessons. There's really good schools all around Australia. Gear's super cheap. Come down and see Zig at Kitani and he'll give you 10% off. Like tip. We'll see you guys next time. Big props to our sponsors, Cabrinha and Kitani, and everyone else for chipping in and helping out. Congrats to Andy Yates, first Australian world champion in kiteboarding. That's great. That's it from us. Cheers, Zig.
Cheers, Paul.
We'll see you guys next time.